Hannah asked me, there may be some people that are maybe finding it hard to approach people about the business, because there's two types of members, as we know. There's the consumer member and there's the business member. And the consumer member is great because we can try the products and we can get products for absolute quality and absolute price and just enjoy the products like a consumer member. But there are some people who would like to do the business, and some people find it very difficult to approach people that they don't know. It's obviously easy to approach family, it's easy to approach friends, but sometimes it's challenging to approach people that maybe at work, or maybe we meet in the street, or maybe you know somebody that is successful who may be a very good person to be in your team. You are slightly hesitant about contacting them. So this is a system that I've taught people for the last 35, 40 years. Yeah, I'm an old guy, I'm 70, but I've trained probably around about 3,500, 4,000 salespeople in my life. My background, I was the national sales director of Foxtel. So if you know Foxtel, that's the cable television in your home. I was the senior executive that started that in 1995, and my job was to make sure it was rolled out around Australia, which obviously was done very successfully. So there is 4 stages to selling, and that's why it's called quadrant sales. I know there's some people here that that your first language is in English. So quadrant means in English 4, okay? And basically the 4 stages is how to sell yourself, because first of all, we have to sell ourselves or any product or service. And there's 4 stages. Today, what we'll be doing is we'll be covering as you'll see there's the relax, the disturb, the relieve, and the ask. So there's 4 stages. The green is the relax. That basically means when you meet somebody is having a relaxing atmosphere with them. When you and then the second stage is disturb, and I'll explain that. So today we're going to handle the relax and the disturb. We're not going to be doing the relieve and the ask. So this week, when you meet somebody, we're going to learn how to, first of all, before you even discuss Atomy, before you even discuss the business, you've got to have a relaxed atmosphere. Okay, and later on we'll talk about the disturb. As you can see here, so I'm not coming across as a sexist, there is a woman unhappy with a man, and there's a man unhappy with a woman. Effectively, when people meet, and like on a date, or they're going out, if you recall going back on your first date, or your date with your husband, or your date with your boyfriend, or date with somebody, the successful dates have been when you're relaxed with that person. Business is like going out on a date. It's like going out and having dinner with somebody that you don't know. And as you know from our first dates, everybody's on their best behavior, and you only see the good side of people. So the most important thing before you even discuss Atomy is to make sure that you establish common ground. What common ground means is that when you sit down with somebody, you don't all of a sudden discuss Atomy. You say things like, glad to meet you, how's your day? But also you've got to find something that you have in common with that person. You may have a member of the family who's gone through cancer. You may have children that are the same age. You've got to establish a common ground. If you meet a person and they've got no common ground, it's very hard to make them feel relaxed. When you go out on a date, there's a common ground there, because the boy wants to meet the girl wants to meet the boy, and hopefully if it's successful, they'll fall in love. So effectively, they both have a common ground. They both want to establish a relationship, a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. In business, you've got to find common ground, because remember, when you're meeting somebody, they may not even know what Atomy is. May not be interested in doing an Atomy business. So you've got to establish some common ground that is not Atomy. So as I said, you have children the same age. Are you the same age? Are you married? You married? You're single? Whatever. So that's what common ground means. So you have to relax the person first, and hopefully, when you relax, you'll see the body language change. You'll see the couple there having a cup of coffee and enjoying themselves, and you see the young couple there laughing. If you're laughing in a business meeting or somebody you meet, you don't even have to discuss Atomy. They've got to learn to like you first. You've got to like them. Remember, life's too short. I don't want to have somebody in my team that I find I don't like. You know, when I say don't like, I may find that their habits are a bit, a bit. In other words, we have nothing in common. There's nothing in common. It's very hard to become a leader when you've got nothing in common. So the important thing is to make sure you don't have a disconnect like you have there with people not paying attention. But once you've got the relax there, and the most important thing is to be yourself. Okay. The biggest challenge we've got is everybody loves everybody. There's effectively just be yourself. Don't try and be anybody else. Don't think there's some secret formula for being a good business person. There isn't. There's no formula. Business is simple. It's all the experts that want to make it complicated. Business is about developing relationships and about supporting people. And the great thing I like about the culture of this company, it's in the ethos, it's about acting in humility. In the ethos of the company, it's about helping people. It's about supporting people. It's not just supporting business to make money. It's supporting people. And that's what I found difficult with some of the American multi-level marketing companies. They didn't have this ethos that went straight, that goes through Atomy. That's one of the reasons I joined Atomy, was the ethos or the ethics behind how they treat people. Okay. So the important thing is, you've got to be yourself, so there's no secret, just be yourself. And you'll see here that most of us, all of us, worry about what other people think of us. Now they say oh, you shouldn't worry what people think of you. Well, it's part of being human. You have to, it's okay, even beneficial to worry about what people think of you, because you don't want to be offensive. You don't want to be in a situation where if you don't care about what people think of you, you might become arrogant and rude and narcissistic. So, but there is a line you have to draw, and that is that you must be, in other words, the biggest fear about people going and meeting people is they think, oh, will they like me? Will they not like me? Will they be upset that I'm discussing Atomy? What will they think if I'm discussing multi-level marketing? All this stuff goes into the head. Oh, will they think less of me? All that stuff is, everybody suffers from it. Okay, so all I'm saying is that you go back, you just, first of all, when you do your first meeting, you've got to relax. Okay, you've got to relax and get an environment like this. Okay. Be yourself and relax. So when you have your first Atomy meeting, just sit down with the people and just have a relaxing coffee and talk about their lives and listen to them. A lot of people do a lot of talking, but the most successful business people listen. So have a glass of water, have a big coffee, and just ask some questions and listen. And they will love you. Everybody loves a listener. Everybody loves a listener. There's a little story about two men that went on a train from well, it was America, but let's say, from the north. We can't say North Korea. It's funny, can't say North Korea. We can say from Sydney to Perth. Okay, and the two men were talking, and the one man said at the end of it, he said to the other man, you're such an interesting person. I've never met such an interesting person. And what the other person did, the other person didn't say a thing. He just listened. See, people like to talk, so the most important thing is to listen. So don't worry about what people are thinking about you. And of course, once you relax them, then the next thing is to disturb them. Now, we're all disturbed a bit about today. We've got, we've just been through the coronavirus. We've got interest rates going up. We've got all the things of, they're going on, gas prices, electricity prices, and everybody thinks they're financially sinking at the moment. So people, once you relax somebody, you've got to basically disturb them. The reason people join Atomy is because they can, number one, they can see a potential of finding an opportunity to make some extra money. And if they can prepare a plan over the next 5 to 10 years that can give them financial security, that's a wonderful thing. But first of all, they've got to realize if they are concerned about money, and as you can see, you know, most people are in the sense of the situation today. Now, everybody wants to become rich. Everybody wants to become wealthy. Everybody wants to become an imperial master and earn $50,000 or $60,000 a month. Okay. Now, I'll continue with this on next week, but you know, if you want to be rich, the experts say you've got to avoid and get rid of your debt. Well, if you're not earning extra cash, it means that your debt's going to take longer to pay off. Obviously, we've got to be good spenders. We've got to budget. We've got to minimize our costs. We have to invest as much in a diverse portfolio, investment in different shares and stocks and those sort of things. But the point is that not many people have extra cash to be able to do that. The other thing is to work on your career. That means work harder or try to get more qualifications to be better at your career. And the other one is find extra work or a side gig. And point 5 is where Atomy comes in, because the extra work that you have to do for a job like overtime or extra hours is going to just exhaust you and just be one day at a time. It will not be building something for the future. So the new buzzword out there is now side gig. This is the new millennial word. I may be 70, but I'm a cool dude because I understand what young people think about regarding the workspace. So in my day, the only way that you could do extra work was by taking a second job or by doing overtime. Now, all these young people are doing side gigs on the internet. They're all doing, you know, like some things with Amazon. They're all doing things with affiliate marketing. They're doing things, all these different things. I won't confuse you. I'll discuss that next week. But Atomy, and this is the most important thing I want to say, Atomy is the best side gig that I know. It's the best side gig. So number 0.5, if you want to become rich, you've got to basically have a good side. You either can inherit a lot of money if you're lucky. You can win lotto if you're lucky. You can basically sell your business if you've spent 30 or 40 years building a business. The other people, the richer people like who's the CEO of Qantas or the CEO of National Bank, who climbed the corporate ladder. And I was in the corporate world for 30 years and get paid $3 or $4 million a year. And even if they fail, they get a $25 million payout, right? That's another way of getting rich. But that's only 0.002% of our population that get that. The only other way the rest of us can get it, if we can't inherit money, is either do extra work or find a side gig. A side gig means a side hobby or side work hobby. Now, the most important thing, and I'll finish off on this note and we'll continue next week. That side gig has got to be a company that's going to be around for 30 years. If you're 40, you want it to be around for 50 years till you're 90. I'm 70. I want this company to be around till I'm 90, all right? Or 100, okay? So the side gig has got to be number 1, a company that's long-term. Number 2, it's not going to cost me anything. If you go to your Instagram today, you will see people trying to get you onto affiliate marketing, try to sell you things on Amazon. Those courses cost anywhere between $5,000 to $15,000 US dollars. All right? Amazon costs you, forgive me. Atomy costs you nothing. The only thing that Atomy costs you is basically purchasing the products which you already do. And if you decide to do the business, all it is putting time 3 to 4 hours a week. Just do 3 to 4 hours a week. Okay. Now, that's all you have to do. So the other great thing about Atomy, it has the best, I can tell you this because I've seen many companies. It has the best, forget it, the best technology of any multi-level marketing company in the world, bar none. So once you start getting excited, like I do about this company, I just sit down with people and I get excited. And remember, if you're excited about something, people also get excited. Also, sometimes people run away. They say, this guy's crazy. This guy, because some people are like that. And the reason they're like that, because it's not about you. They've got to face their own fears. Okay. So the first thing when you go out to meet somebody is to relax them. The second thing is to disturb them. And disturbing them is what we're all disturbed about, is about the horrible coronavirus we went through and the financial challenges. Every single day we wake up, the interest rate going up 0.5%. Fortunately, I don't have a mortgage, but I know my children have, and I know other people that have, you know. So these are things on people's mind. Okay. And so on a final note, I heard people say in the group now that you got to learn all about the products, and that's true. But later on, one day you'll get so excited about this, you'll be able to express to other people how excited you are. But first of all, don't jump to the coffee shop and say, oh, I'm so excited about this company. It's got the best products and the best technology, and it's the best company I've ever known. And it's Korean, it's love it. No, you just say, how's your day? I wanted to meet you because I just want to share something with you, but I just like to know a bit more about you. You know, that's how you start off. You start by relaxing people. Okay. Now, I'll leave it at that, Hannah. The final thing I will say is that I was putting 2 hours a week, 2 to 3 hours a week on my Atomy business, and it was progressing slowly. I then made a decision to get a service office in the city, which cost me $140 a month. Okay. So what I do is I get on the train on a Wednesday morning and I go to the service office and I sit in the service office, and it gives me a business environment around me. For me, this is good. I'm not suggesting this for everybody, but for me, being an old type dude that used to work in the 80s and 90s and thousands where I used to go to the office, that psychologically puts me into work mode. It gets me out of my home. And I found that my productivity is increased by, about 250%. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that helps. But in summation, next week we'll be going on about relieving the, which we covered a bit today, relieving the disturb. And the final thing is asking. And 90% of people fail in business because they don't ask, so we'll go talk about that next week. Hopefully that helps. It's really hard to discuss a thing that probably takes a year to teach in around about 15 minutes, but I hope you got something out of it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. Yeah, your point is true. I mean, it's very good. Especially when you said we have to relaxing with people. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all the obstacles that I'm facing as well. Yeah, you just say it. So I'm really waiting for next week for the continue of your let's say I'm saying like your tutoring about how to approach the people. And thank you very much.